YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy APFC. I'm back again for another video, and today we are discussing Leicester midfielder James Maddison, a player that I am a massive fan on. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is that you would have all seen links to James Maddison over the last week or so. It has been confirmed by Brendan Rodgers, however, that they are not looking to sell any players in January categorically. Those were the exact words that were used. Obviously, you see this happen a lot of times with managers coming out and saying that, and they still end up losing players. I don't think it will happen this window personally, but Arteta has apparently told his friends that James Maddison is his primary target for Arsenal, sort of for his net season next year. Now, this guy would be the perfect signing. The perfect. If this is true, James Maddison should be prioritised over any other player. And why I say that is that we have never been the same since we lost Aaron Ramsey. Losing Aaron Ramsey was one of the biggest mistakes we have ever made. Although he was very inconsistent at times, there is no other player in our squad that could play that box-to-box playmaker role like Aaron Ramsey has done. This is all whilst Mesut Ozil was ghosting 99% of games last year. There was more responsibility on Aaron Ramsey, and he always seemed to have stepped up. James Maddison is the perfect Aaron Ramsey replacement. When we lost Ramsey, I always said, we got to go for Maddison. We got to go for Maddison. This is a beautiful replacement, and I genuinely believe that Aaron Ramsey. James Maddison is going to turn out better than Aaron Ramsey has, because, Aaron Ramsey being 27, I think Maddison's 22, 23. Maddison, and no doubt for me, is England's best centre midfield. Now, a lot of people can look at me and say, oh, that's a massive call. What about Dele Alli? What about this player? What about that player? James Maddison offers the X factor like no other midfielder for England does. He looks like a Spanish or he looks like a Spanish midfielder who's English, essentially. He has that flair, and he has that rare ability to open up or change a game just with one goal, one assist, one pass. The guy has enormous amounts of talent, and I feel that if we do not go for him in the next couple of windows or so, his value will completely skyrocket. James Maddison was signed from Norwich 2 seasons ago for £23 million. What do you reckon he's worth now? I'd probably say 70 to 80 million, probably triple that amount, maybe a little bit more. Just because he's English, his price will inflate as well. We must go for this guy. And why I really like James Maddison, first of all, is that what he reminds me of Aaron Ramsey is that he's always looking to drive forward. Now, Ramsey at times when he was sort of starting out, he was a little bit hesitant of when to drive forward. But what I noticed in his last season is that Aaron Ramsey found that ability to be able to drive forward, put some pressure on the midfield, and ultimately open up the midfield and the defense, allowing our strikers more space. James Maddison does that. Now, James Maddison can beat the first player incredibly easily. He's got so many skills in his repertoire. He loves a step over. He's extremely agile, so he's able to beat the man very quickly. And he just drives at midfielders. And tell me, this is something that we have completely lacked over the last particularly this season since Aaron Ramsey has left. Even last season whilst Aaron Ramsey was injured, we missed that. And, that puts more pressure on Mesut Ozil. Everyone knows how Mesut Ozil has performed over the last 2 years. Absolutely terrible. So last season, the reason why I think we didn't end up winning the Europa League is because Ramsey was not involved in the final. We weren't half the team. We weren't even half the team that we were when Ramsey was on the field. James Maddison can completely change the dynamic of our midfield. Right now, Arteta has shored up the midfield in respects to how we're looking defensively, but as you're able to see over the last few games, we've lacked that creativity with, giving more chances to our strikers such as Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe. Although we've shored out the defence, the chances have dried up. That is because we don't have a midfielder that can join the attack. Xhaka can't do it. Torreira can't do it. We're yet to really see Ceballos do much because he's been injured. James Maddison would instantly instantly change the whole dynamic of the team in regards to going forward. He would create minimum 2 to 3 chances extra a game. He's a strong competitor. He goes in for tackles. He presses high from the front. I just don't understand why we should even be looking at anybody else, because James Maddison is on our doorstep. He's in England. Just get it done. Whatever it is, back Arteta with this signing, because if we were willing to pay 70 to 80 million for Pepe, we must be willing to pay 70 to 80 million for James Maddison. He is Premier League proven. He came from the Championship, from Norwich. He went to Leicester, and he was instantly performing even though he was playing at a higher level. He has completely improved. He's got 9 goals and 3 assists this season, I think in all competitions. The guy offers so much to Leicester. You know, without James Maddison, Jamie Vardy, in my opinion, would not be scoring half the goals that he has done. Imagine their midfield just with, for example, Yuri Tielemans and Ndidi. Both very good players, don't get me wrong, but do you genuinely believe Leicester would be in the top 4 without James Maddison? Seriously, would with Ndidi and Tielemans, would they be in the top 4? Do they have that X factor? I'm going to go with no. You know, what James Maddison offers, I'll give you some more sort of things that I've noticed about him, is that, as I said before, he's always looking to drive forward. We need that in that Crystal Palace game. As a prime example, we needed that midfielder that could take the game by the scruff of the neck. Guendouzi tries to do it at times, but he has nowhere near that attacking ability that James Maddison does. We needed someone to drive at the midfield, ultimately open up space, and give our sort of attackers, because we're opening up space, more opportunity to get in goal scoring positions. James Maddison can score by himself. He scores many outside the box. The one I remember most recently was the one he scored against Newcastle. He's actually quite good in the box as well. I think he's left-footed, but I've seen him score with both feet. He can completely change the dynamic of our team. We have often, at times, looked to break quickly from the back. We've looked for long through balls through David Luiz, through Granit Xhaka. James Maddison will be another player that can do that. The amount of outside the foot through balls I've seen him do is mesmerizing. The guy has incredible vision. And this is why I think James Maddison must go to the Euros for England. He must. In my opinion, he would be starting games. You know, I'm trying to think of some of England's centre midfielders. They have players like Dele Alli. They have players like Oxlade-Chamberlain. You know, I genuinely believe that he's better than both of them, and he offers more attacking wise and even pressing from the front than either of those players. I think in some respects James Maddison has been overlooked, probably too much for England. You know, I know there was a situation where he pulled out of the squad and was spotted at the casino. Maybe a weakness of his is his attitude may not overly be there yet, but the guy is 22, so he's plenty of time for him to sort of get his consistency off the field to make him an even better player on the field. Now, I just think that there's not many English players that offer that exceptional vision that James Maddison does, and this is why I think we should be going hammer and tong to be able to get him. United have been looking at him, but I just think that if it's true that Arteta is targeting James Maddison, particularly this summer window, we have to go for him. He would completely change our team, as I said. You know, he moves the ball very quickly. Often with James Maddison, I notice he only needs 2 to 3 touches to be able to sort of move the ball on. He knows where he's going to play the ball before he even gets the ball. You know, I've seen at times, although Xhaka has performed better over the last 2 to 3 months, well, not 2 to 3 months, I'm going to say 6 weeks, he doesn't move the ball on quick enough, especially when he's getting pressed. Maddison can not only move it on quickly, but if he's getting pressed, he can beat the man and then just drive at opposition midfielders and defenders. You saw that he played an excellent game against us this season. He is the answer. I'm going to say it now. I am that certain that James Maddison is the answer. I thought we should have got him at this summer window that has just passed. We'll see what happens. I really do hope we go for him, because what he offers that Leicester team is something else. You know, I believe that this Leicester team's actually better than the team that won the title. I just think that this season there's obviously more competition with Liverpool and Manchester City, you could argue in some respects, particularly Liverpool. James Maddison is a massive reason as to why Leicester have gone a whole nother level up. Because as I said to you, they just had Tielemans and they just had Ndidi, or they just had Dennis Pryor and Ndidi, or Dennis Pryor and then Tielemans. there's no way that this team would be in the top four. No chance. And a lot of that is through how they win midfields. You have Ndidi sort of screening, but you have James Maddison being the main creator and one of the first men to press from the front. And this is why I think whatever it takes, James Maddison must be our marquee signing in the summer window. Anyway, just want to do a quick video on that because I've seen so many links to Maddison. I'm praying that these links are true and we are looking to go for him. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Feel free to watch some of my other videos in the channel. Did a video yesterday on Gabriel Martinelli and what he offers the Arsenal team. Please watch that if you haven't seen it already. Thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.